What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Good to have you back. It's been a little while since I did a video. My last video, we talked about having a full-time job and working eBay. And so, in the last couple of weeks, as I've had my full-time job and been doing eBay, I uh, I kind of been thinking about some things. So, I wanted to give you 5 tips on different things you can do to help ensure your success. One thing I've noticed is a lot of people that I work with at my other job are unhappy. They hate their job. They don't like coming in. They don't like the traditional 9 to 5. Maybe someone won't be happy working anywhere. So for me, I know this job is temporary. I don't know how long temporary is. I don't know if that's a year or 5 years or whatever. I don't know how long it's going to take to rebuild my eBay store. Quick backstory, just in case you're new here. About a year and a half ago, I lost about 60% of my sales and traffic. Spent the next 6 months on the phone with eBay, trying to figure out what was going on. Talked to many different reps, different higher ups. No one could tell me what triggered that. I didn't do anything different. I listed the same amount. My handling time stayed the same. My shipping policies, my return policies, everything stayed the same. I didn't change anything, but I lost 60% of my sales. So now we're in that rebuilding phase. I have 2 stores. First store is the one where everything just went downhill. That's the store you're looking at right now. The second store is brand new as of January, I believe, 16th, and it's doing okay. I have about almost 600 items. We're listing 3 per day now. That's a new update, 3 per day. So we'll take a look at the numbers at the end of this video. So stick around if you want to see that. As far as the tip goes, now this could be for, you have a full-time job and you're thinking about starting eBay. You have a full-time job and you're already doing eBay, or you're like me where you started eBay and then, uh-oh, things aren't going real well. I need to go get a full-time job. Excuse me, just a side note, things were going really well before we lost 60% of our sales. I say we because I do have a business partner. He lives quite a distance away though, so we only work together maybe once every couple months. I do the majority of the work. Um, we were selling 30 a day, 25 to 30 a day, making good money. Everything was fine. We literally hit a wall and traffic dropped. So that was over a 2 month span. Well, while we lost, how we lost everything there. So here are my 5 tips. One is systems. So you have to have all your systems in place. Your photographing, your shipping, your shopping to get your clothes. Are you going to do it online? Are you going to go to a thrift store? Are you going to go to garage sales? How are you going to do all your things? Your prep, my prep area is over here. My shipping area is over here. I have areas for doing things. I have systems in place that are pretty dang efficient. I have been doing this 3 years though, so that's why my systems are the way they are, as efficient as they are. I sit here, I have a table here, I have my items here after I photograph them. I go through them, I fold them over here. I have my bags right there. I have 2 boxes on the ground, one for each store. I have my labels right here in front of me that I put on there for my SKU system. I have everything in my systems. I know when I'm going to ship. I have everything pretty well dialed in. Can I make improvements? Probably. There are probably improvements that I can make, but if you don't have systems, it's going to make it really difficult to have a full-time or part-time job and do eBay as well, full-time or part-time. Number 2, discipline. You have to be very disciplined. I hate getting up early. I start work sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning. For me, that's early. So that means I have to come down here before I go to work, make sure I have nothing for shipping that day. I do it the night before I go to bed, of course. But if anything sells between the time I go to bed and midnight, since I have 1 day handling, because I don't want to lose top rated status, I have to come down here in the morning before I go to work and I have to get it. So I have to have the discipline to get up early and to do the things I need to do. Today is my day off. I don't want to be listing clothes on eBay. I just want to relax. I work 40 hours a week. On my days off, I want to relax. But I have to have that discipline to say, no, I need to go down and work because my stuff's in the basement here. If you haven't figured it out, this is the basement. I have to go downstairs and I have to work. I have to work X amount of hours. Now, it's not like I work 8 hours doing eBay because I'm only doing 3 per day in the second store, 5 per day in the first store. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time, but I do have to work longer on my days off or when I have time and I'm not at my other job. so that I can get ahead because I want to have a buffer. I want to be a week, 2 weeks ahead. So, let's say it would normally take me 2 hours to do what I need to do each day, or actually probably an hour with the listing goal as low as it is. I'll spend 4 to 5 hours. Today, this morning, came down here and spent about 3 hours doing some different things, doing shipping, doing some more listings, getting ahead on my drafts. So systems and discipline. Number three, you have to be motivated. To get up in the morning, I got to be motivated. To put in the extra hours for eBay, I have to be motivated. So what's my motivation? My motivation is money. Now that may sound a little shallow, but let's break that down. We all need money to survive. We all need money to have a roof over our heads. We all need money if we want to enjoy things, buy some things that are just for enjoyment. If we want to go on a vacation and relax, right? So that's part of my motivation. The other one is time. I want to have the time to do those things. And number three, I don't want to be at a 9 to 5. I don't want someone setting my schedule and telling me what to do, when I have to do it, what my job is. Ask for time off. If I don't feel like working, I still have to work. And I'm capped. I can only make so much per hour at where I work. Now, yes, raises and overtime and those different things will come. But right now, and even once I do, I could still only make, even if it's $50 an hour, I can still only make $50 an hour for that hour. With eBay, how much can I make per hour? It's unlimited. I can make as much as I possibly can per hour on eBay. And it's 24 hours a day. I don't have to clock in. I don't have to clock out, take my break at a certain time, my lunch at a certain time. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, and it makes money 24/7, 365. Doesn't close for Thanksgiving, doesn't close for Christmas, doesn't close for New Year's. Always open. So those are the benefits, and that's my motivation for doing what I do, having the two jobs. Everyone's different. You got to find your own motivation. Number four is time management. I have a very select period of time that I can do eBay each day. I have to manage out that time. I have to know when am I working my other job and how can I plan things around. I have to work for the next 3 days. So it's not always work 5 days, get days off, get 2 days off. I have to work for the next 3 days. So what I would like to do, and I have done, is have drafts for each day for both stores for the next 3 days. So if anything goes wrong, I don't have to worry about doing both jobs in the same day. Now, tomorrow I don't work till tomorrow afternoon. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get up. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do some more stuff to ensure we have a bigger buffer. I know when I need to go to the post office. So when I work late or in the afternoon, I can go to the post office in the morning. But when I work in the morning, I have to go to take my lunch hour and go to the post office. So that means I got to pack a lunch, which I do every day, but it has to be a lunch I can eat in the car while I'm driving to the post office and back. In case I get stuck in traffic or something like that. The post office isn't far. It's only 15 minutes from my work, but there's a half an hour right there wasted. Well, I guess not wasted because I am still building up this eBay business. There's a half an hour of my lunch gone. Thankfully, I get an hour lunch, so I have the time to do that. So that gives me a half an hour to get stuck in traffic and still get back, clock in time, right? So I have to be very managed with my time. I have to know when I'm going to do eBay, know when I'm going to sleep, know when I'm going to relax, know when I'm going to do my chores. Everything has to be just so. And that will increase my productivity. I've already seen it because I don't have any time to screw around. Before, I don't feel like doing 20. I'll do 15. Still gets me ahead. I'm still ahead a week, right? But with this, I have to be really calculated. I have to manage my time really, 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 really well. Number five is planning. So like I mentioned, I have my schedule right here. So now I have my other job schedule. So now I have everything planned out, when I'm going to do what, when am I going to do my chores, when am I going to go to my second job, when am I going to do eBay, when am I going to ship, do I have to go to the post office during my lunch, or can I go before I go to work because I work later in the day. I have to plan out all these things to ensure that I'm successful, to ensure my packages get to the post office in time. I don't want my second job to affect my eBay account in any way, because the goal is build this up, keep building eBay, let my money just sit in the bank account, go buy new inventory, Boom. Gets a little bigger. Every month it should be getting a little bit bigger, right? And then I can list more and more and more, 3, 4, 5, till I hit my point. I don't know what it's going to be. Could it be 10 per day, 15 per day? Whatever it is, till I hit my maximum of how many I can list per day, right? Then we'll have to think of different ways to get my business partner, excuse me, more involved. He does have a listing spot at his house. He's got the computer, got the camera, the light. He's got everything. He can do the same job, same as drafts. Gives us 75 days to get together. He only lives 7 hours away. 75 days to get together and get those and get the drafts from him so that I can list them. Now, here's a trick. Most of you probably know this. If you go into your draft and you edit it in any way, save it, it gives you another 75 days. So really, it could be endless. I don't know if that draft would actually expire after a certain amount of time. I have taken that 75 day and extended it by editing that draft. The draft didn't delete after 75 days because it got a new date. So, but my goal is to just keep building up eBay. Hopefully, by this time next year, I won't have a second job anymore. I will be able to just do eBay again full time, do my YouTube thing. That's another thing that I have to make time for in my planning and my time management. Make time to do these videos. I used to do them 5 days a week. That's just not feasible right now. Probably 2 to 3 days a week is the most I can do. My channel is mostly a vlog, just telling what happens, what's going on with my life on this whole eBay thing, and go from there. But from time to time, I do make videos like these. I try to pass on what I'm learning to others. Hopefully someone finds it helpful. Hopefully someone will use these 5 tips: the system, the discipline, motivated, time management, and planning. Those 5, I think, will get you pretty far, help pave that road for success. Stay encouraged and realize it's going to be tough for a while, but I'm building this for the rest of my future. I wish I would have learned that when I was, got my first job at 16. I wish I would have learned then to start saving money, buy real estate. Boom. That's what I'm going to do with eBay. I'm going to build this thing up as big as I can, take all that cash, buy real estate. That way I don't have to worry about where I am on vacation, getting my items shipped, putting my store on vacation mode, all those different things. So I have an end goal. I think that helps to get through a tough time like this, having 2 jobs. It's a little nice to go to a second job and forget about eBay, but it also sucks in the sense of I would really like to just focus on eBay, build it up, build it up, build it up, get it as big as I can. So, like I said, I think, well, excuse me, somewhere around 15 items per day probably be my limit. That'd be 15 listing and 15 shipping per day. Then my business partner could step in if he could do another 5 per day. We could get up to 20 per day. That's going to be a pretty nice income. It depends on your profit margin, but say you're walking away with, I don't know, if you're doing 20 per day, even walking away with $10 profit per item, that's 200 a day. That's 6 grand a month. A lot of people can live on 6 grand a month. Now there would be some small business expenses. I'm talking about $200 a day after cost of goods. So let's just say you made 6 grand, and for your shipping supplies, a couple other things, you spent even 500 bucks. You'd be walking away with 5,500. It's over 60 grand a year. In fact, that's 66 grand a year. So that's a pretty good living. Now, my business partner obviously would need some of that as well. So we need to do more than 20 per day. So we'd have to adjust. Maybe I'm thinking long term, maybe next summer. Because originally, if you don't know, I wanted to go part-time, find a part-time job. I did apply for a part-time job with this company, and they said, hey, we need a full-time lead position. Would you be, a leader for our company? I didn't want to do it, but I said, yeah, I probably should do it. That way I can make more money and just have more money, right? That way more money can stay in eBay. So I decided to do it. So that's why I work full-time. But maybe next summer I could take a part-time position, 30 hours a week, maybe. Work 6 hours a week, 5 days a week. That would give me more time to do eBay And then I could go from, let's just say, doing 15 on my own. Maybe I could do 20 on my own. And then maybe you go down to just working 3 days a week. So I like to think long term in all things eBay, business, whatever I'm doing. I like to try to plan things out and just kind of go down that road. So that's kind of my plan. Just slowly, right now I'm working the max hours and then just slowly taper that back as eBay starts to grow. Um, I probably wouldn't quit until eBay was going really, really good, because I do have a bad taste in my mouth with eBay, because of what happened with me losing 60% of my sales and traffic for no valid reason. Um, so I don't know, maybe 100,000 a year gross sales, 150. I don't know, to be honest with you. Um, but I'd want it to be real secure before I walked away from my job, because obviously I have responsibilities, paying for things, um, and you got to keep up on those. So just once again, systems, discipline, motivated, time management, and planning. Now let's talk about what's been going on while I've been working. This is the first store. You could see we're just over 3 per day sold, listing 5 per day. Not great, but again, we're not top tier. We do have a lot of things in this store that we need to get rid of. Top 20 and rest, the search slot is up a little bit there. This is down, that's good. I'd like to see that number higher. Still 80, oops, sorry, still 80-20. And if you remember, this should be about 50-50. I'd like to see. You can see traffic. Between the last 30 days, there's a 108, and yesterday we were 117. So we're up a little bit on traffic. 1 sale, 3 sale, 1 sale, 2 sale, 4 sale, 3 sale, 1 sale. So kind of up and down there a little bit. If we flip over to the second store, you can see we're just over 1 sold per day. I don't know how we're up 30%. Oh, excuse me. How we're up 30%, because July was not that bad. We didn't take vacation. Either way, our impressions are up and our page views are up. Now, see, this is 1.3. That's pretty low. 2.0 and 5.9, and not great. 80-20 still. 80-20 rule, that's not good. You know what the 80-20 rule is? 80% of 20% of the people do 80% of the work. 20% of the people make 80% of the money. There's all kinds of sayings like that, right? But you can see our traffic, you know, we had a good day here, 54. So that, of course, is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you would think the high marks would be on the weekends. There's another oh, I'm sorry, that is Sunday compared to Thursday. So Sunday, 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 and we'll see what this weekend is. Nothing today, 2 yesterday, 0 that day, 2 on Tuesday, 0 on Monday, 0 on Sunday, 2 on Saturday. We've had a lot of blanks. So I think my store just needs to have more items listed, because we have great items in there. So it just needs more exposure. 50 some thousand impressions per day. That's not enough. And it is going up, even though it's kind of been trending down lately. It is going up. So we'll just have to see how things go. Listing 3 per day. I would guess that it is going to increase, that more activity. I really think somewhere around 10 plus 15. It's a pretty good point. I think that gets you lots of traffic and you make a good amount of money. So anyways, that's going to do it for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.